Hello and welcome to World Report. I'm Jash Hirani. In this episode, we discuss the visit of US Secretary of State Marco Rubio to India for the Quad Foreign Ministers Summit 2026. Rubio's visit is being seen as an attempt by the United States to reset ties with India, which suffered significant strain after Donald Trump returned to the presidency. Trump's second term has proven to be one of the most turbulent phases in India US relations. Tensions escalated after Trump repeatedly urged India to reduce its Russian oil imports to zero and imposed 50% tariffs on Indian goods. His repeated claims that he personally brokered the ceasefire between India and Pakistan following the Pahalgam attack also reportedly irritated the leadership in New Delhi. Along with several other issues, these developments are believed to have prompted Washington to send Rubio to India in an effort to repair and reset ties with New Delhi. But did Rubio's visit truly succeed in resetting India US relations? To answer this question and to analyze the broader trajectory of ties between New Delhi and Washington, we are joined by a special guest, Mr. KP Fabian. Mr. Fabian is a distinguished former officer of the Indian Foreign Service who served as India's ambassador to Qatar and Italy. During his diplomatic career, he played key roles at a time when several major geopolitical developments were unfolding across the world. Let us welcome former Indian diplomat Mr. KP Fabian. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our show, sir. On World
My
Report.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Sir, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio made a visit to India for the Quad Foreign Ministers Summit 2026 to reset ties with India. At least it was reported as if that he was sent to reset ties with India. Do you think the ties have been reset?
I do not think the ties have been fully reset, but at the same time, some incremental progress might have been made because what we have to understand is that the ties are fully reset if only a proper trade deal is signed, and that is getting delayed. It is true that Secretary of State Rubio used very nice words about India, and during his visit, President Trump also said he loves India, loves Modi, and all that. Words are good, but actions are better.
Sir, you said words are good. Mr. Jaishankar, in the joint presser, he said that the Trump administration has been very forthright in putting forward its foreign policy outlook as America first. Now, where we are concerned, we have a view of India first. So there was a lot of jingoism on social media that Jaishankar is showing America its place. So, but on the other hand, we are also seeking US's permission to buy Russian oil. So, how do you see this dichotomy, sir?
Well, your question is very well put. All these slogans America first, India first, Canada first. Now, these are slogans. A slogan is not exactly a policy. A slogan is there to attract popular attention and at times to mislead the people. So, if every country, after all, there are 193 member states, if every member state says, my country first, what will happen? Imagine Delhi traffic. If every driver says, me first, what will happen? So, we need the traffic police. In the same way, we need a traffic police for the international community. So, it cannot be me first, So, that is a slogan, and while one may use the slogan for publicity purposes, one should not delude oneself into thinking that that slogan is tantamount to policy. Now, as regards Foreign Minister Jaishankar's statement, see, Rubio wants us to buy more and more hydrocarbon, oil and LNG from the United States or from multinationals from the United States, even if they are working in Angola. It doesn't matter. The thing is this, If you look at geography, United States, if you're getting oil from there, the transportation cost will be a little more than when you get it from Iran or from Iraq. Secondly, when we buy oil from these other countries, it is basically determined on the market value. Of course, there will be some negotiation, but market value is, the starting point. Whereas in the case of America, there is no market value. In other words, it is politically determined. You know, so while I would say that it might be necessary for us to buy some oil from America for political reasons, one should not, I repeat, one should not overdo it.
Sir, you mentioned about oil and buying oil from America. There was also a statement by our Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. Jaishankar. He made a statement. I want to say our country, I want to say for our energy security, it's important we have multiple sources, large sources, dependable sources, and cheap sources. So, and the United States, because that was the first equation. It should fit the bill. So, if we consider that cheap sources is our priority, then Iran is also selling us some cheap oil. Russia is also selling us some cheap oil. So, if that is the priority, then shall we not buy oil from Russia or Iran and prioritize our energy security from there?
See, the point is that America says that India should not buy. If, in fact, you remember that Trump raised taxes on India, 25% extra for buying oil from Russia, correct? And at that time, India was not the only country buying energy from Russia. European Union was buying. And America itself was buying fertilizer and many other things. So Trump, you know, deliberately picked India. You know what I mean? So it was not India's buying oil from Russia that mattered. He just wanted to do something nasty to India so that India will be compelled to agree to terms in the trade deal. You know what I mean? So one should not, there is not always logic in America's policy. And then in India's policy also there is lack of logic because as you yourself mentioned, India asked America to give a waiver or extend the waiver. Now, India should not have done that because let's look at it. These American sanctions do not make any sense. After all, what right have they to tell country X, don't buy from country Y? You see? So this is not
But isn't that
America
compromising our
first.
sovereignty, sir?
Yeah, this is
Aren't
not
we
America first.
compromising?
This is America over alles. America above everyone else. America dictating to others. Now that should stop.